Hello, welcome back to the Southern Bible Thumper channel. In this upload, we're going to be reading First Chronicles chapter 5. Now the sons of Reuben, the firstborn of Israel, for he was the firstborn, but for as much as he defiled his father's bed, his birthright was given unto the sons of Joseph, the son of Israel, and the genealogy is not to be reckoned after the birthright. For Judah prevailed above his brethren, and of him came the chief ruler, but the birthright was Joseph's. The sons, I say, of Reuben, the firstborn of Israel, were Hanok and Palu, Hezron and Carmi. The sons of Joel, Shemaiah his son, Gog his son, Shimi his son, Micah his son, Reaiah his son, Baal his son, Bera his son, whom Talgath-Palneser, king of Assyria, carried away captive. He was prince of the Reubenites, and his brethren by their families, when the genealogy of their generations was reckoned, were the chief Jeiel and Zechariah, and Bela the son of Azaz, the son of Shema, the son of Joel, who dwelt in Aurora, even unto Nebo and Balmeon, and eastward he inhabited unto the entering in of the wilderness from the river Euphrates, because their cattle were multiplied in the land of Gilead. And in the days of Saul they made war with the Hagarites, who fell by their hand, and they dwelt in their tents throughout all the east land of Gilead. And the children of Gad dwelt over against them in the land of Bashan unto Salcah. Joel, the chief, and Shapham the next, and Janai and Shaphat and Bashan, and their brethren of the house of their fathers were Michael and Meshulam and Sheba and Jorai and Jachan and Zia and Haber, 7. These are the children of Abihail, the son of Huri, the son of Jeorah, the son of Gilead, the son of Michael, the son of Jehashai, the son of Jehado, the son of Buz, Ahi, the son of Abdiel, the son of Guni, chief of the house of their fathers. And they dwelt in Gilead and Bashan, and in her towns, and in all the suburbs of Sharon, upon their borders. All of these were reckoned by genealogies in the days of Jotham, king of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam, king of Israel. The sons of Reuben and the Gadites, and half the tribe of Manasseh, of valiant men, men able to bear buckler and sword, and to shoot with bow, and skillful in war, were 440,703 that went out to the war. And they made war with the Hagarites, and Jator, and Naphish, and Nodab, and they were helped against them, and the Hagarites were delivered into their hand, and all that were with them, for they cried to God in the battle, and he was entreated of them, because they put their trust in him. And they took away their cattle, of their camels 50,000, and of sheep 250,000, and of asses 2,000, and of men 100,000, for there fell down many slain because the war was of God. And they dwelt in their steads until the captivity. And the children of the half tribe of Manasseh dwelt in the land. They increased from Bashan unto Bel Hermon and Sinir, and unto Mount Hermon. And these were the heads of the house of their fathers, even Epher, and Ishi, and Eliel, and Azriel, and Jeremiah, and Hodaviah, and Jadiel, mighty men of valor, famous men, and heads of the house of their fathers. And they transgressed against the God of their fathers, and went a whoring after the gods of the people of the land, whom God destroyed before them. And the God of Israel stirred up the spirit of Pul, king of Assyria, and the spirit of Tilgath-Palneser, king of Assyria, and he carried them away, even the Reubenites and the Gadites, and the half tribe of Manasseh, and brought them unto Halah, and Habor, and Hera, and to the river Gozan, and to this day. First Chronicles 4. This chapter focuses on the extended lineage of Judah. First Chronicles 5. This chapter details Reuben's lineage. Okay, so we are going to be summarizing First Chronicles chapter 5. Verses 1 through 3, we are detailing Reuben. So Reuben is Israel or Jacob's first son. We learn that he committed some sort of action that caused him to lose his birthright to his brother Joseph, and this action, it's going to change how he's recorded in history. Okay, so he couldn't be enrolled. Okay, could not be listed in a genealogical record. We read in the King James, the genealogy is not to be reckoned after the birthright. So what Reuben did caused his record to be documented in a way that it wasn't supposed to be. We see in verse 2, yes, Judah becomes strong, but the birthright was given to Joseph. And then verse 3, we see Reuben's lineage, his 4 sons. Okay? So before I go any further, I just want to show where this appears in the Bible. So Genesis 29 is when Reuben is first mentioned. He is a son of Jacob and Leah, verse 32. Leah conceived, called his name Reuben. So then we learn Reuben does something that caused him to lose his birthright. He defiles his father's couch. Well, this is mentioned twice, and it happens first in Genesis 35. 22. While Israel was away, Reuben lay with Bilhah, his father's concubine. Okay, so Reuben's, Reuben had sex with one of his father's women. As we know, Jacob or Israel was tricked into marrying both Rachel and Leah, and with them, their father gave him 2 handmaids. So it was customary at this time, like Hagar, if the man received a maid, he could have sex with her. So he did, and Bilhah was like his father's woman. So Reuben doing this caused him to lose his birthright. And we see Jacob mention this again in Genesis 49 when he's addressing all of his sons. Okay, so Genesis 49, Jacob called his sons, and he says, Reuben, unstable as water, you went up to your father's bed, then you defiled it. Okay, and Genesis 48 is when we see Joseph getting blessed by his father Jacob. Okay, behold, I'll make you fruitful, multiply you. Okay, Joseph removed them. Joseph took them both. Israel stretched his right hand, laid it on their head, and he blessed Joseph. So the sons of Reuben. So we're talking about when Reuben first appeared, Genesis 29. Reuben defiles his father's couch in Genesis 35. Jacob addresses it directly in Genesis 49. And then the actual act of Joseph getting the birthright happens in Genesis 48. So then we look at verse 3, the sons of Reuben, firstborn of Israel. This is the exact same as Genesis 46. And this is a good thing because where we're okay, let me just show this first. So Genesis 46:9, the sons of sons of Reuben. Okay, Hanok, Palu, Hezron, Carmi. So the importance of where we are now in the Bible. When Solomon becomes king of Israel, Israel is living on the promised land. So Canaan is the promised land. When Solomon disobeys, this nation is fractured into 2 independent kingdoms, and they begin to document change in leadership. They both have they're functioning as 2 independent territories, though they are all the descendants of Jacob. So when we keep seeing these changes in leadership in the Bible, it's referenced multiple times, the Chronicles of Kings of Israel, Chronicles of Kings of Judah. But both kingdoms are conquered and removed off the territory. So though those 2 documents were referenced in each change of leadership, and they were referenced as documents that were containing information about both kingdoms, they don't appear among the 66 books. And now we're looking at the Chronicles. To me, the Chronicles are reading like someone who's trying to piece together information after both kingdoms have been removed. And we don't know who the author is. We don't know when this was written. So the reason for me looking at where things occurred earlier in the Bible is to sort of validate which details actually occurred or are more likely to have occurred because we see them earlier in the Bible. For instance, when we're talking about Judah, we have already gone through Judah's lineage twice, and the details don't completely match up. And it was just a much more difficult read, though all these genealogies are a little bit difficult for me. So when we get to verse 4, we are now looking at Joel. Your guess is just as good as mine who Joel is. Joel is not one of the 12 tribes of Israel. He is not the son of Reuben or Jacob slash Israel. But okay, sons of Joel, Shemaiah is Joel's son, Gog is Shemaiah's son, okay, so on and so forth. When we get here to verse 6, Bera, Baal's son, Tiglath-Pileser carried away into exile. That just made me pause because I don't remember the Bible talking about this. Now, in 2 Kings 15, there was a king Pekah of Israel. He was taken by Tilgath-Pileser. And then we have 2 Kings 18, King Shalmaneser, that was the Assyrian king in that chapter. He was responsible for actually removing Israel off of the territory. So I just did a quick skim to look because I just don't remember Bera ever being mentioned, especially having a conflict with this king. So I interpreted verse 7 as continuing to talk about Bera, talking about his clans, when the genealogy was recorded. So again, this is coming after, this book is after both kingdoms have been removed. So we don't know who's writing this, and just to me seems like someone's just trying to piece together information, maybe what they remember. All right, so we have Bela lived to the east. He waged war against the Hagrites, and they lived in their tents. It explains that this space was necessary. The reason why they had to do this, or war with Saul, the days of Saul, or while Saul was still living, they waged war against the Hagrites, which this is another detail that made me pause too, because Saul, I mean, Saul was before King David. King David didn't even come into power, much. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because we just talked about Tiglath-Pileser. That was in 2 Kings. When we're talking about Saul, that was way before 2 Kings. So this is why I say this is reading like somebody who's piecing together information, because why are we talking about the days of Saul? Anyway. The reason why Bela had to, it says he lived east because of his livestock. Okay, I'm going to stop trying because I mean, again, these genealogies are a bit difficult for me to make sense of as well. So then we're talking about Gad, which Gad is Reuben's brother. He's not related to Joel. He has not been mentioned until now. He didn't even receive the birthright. I don't know why we're talking about him. It seems like maybe because he's living in the area, So his genealogy is going to be recorded here. And then we have verse 12. I'm not sure why we're the sons of Gad. Okay, so these are the sons of Gad: Joel, Shapham, okay, and then their kinsmen or their noblemen, okay, 7 of them. Then it says these are the sons of Abihail. I'm not sure why this is being mentioned, because who is Abihail? And this, who is Huri, the son of Huri? Who are these people? Okay, I've heard of Gilead, but I mean, why is Gilead being mentioned now? Okay, verse 15, Ahi, the son of Abdiel, son of Guni. Who is this? And they lived in Gilead. Who is they? Is they referring to Ahi? Or is it referring to verse 14? Because it seems like verse 14 is starting a new idea. Again, this, I don't feel like this is as clear as the beginning of this chapter. Okay? So, it says they lived in Gilead, in Bashan, their towns and suburbs. And then this is just saying these were recorded during the days of Jotham, king of Judah, and the days of Jeroboam, king of Israel. And this is this. Do you see why I'm saying this is all over the place? Because where Jotham and Jeroboam, I would have to even check if they were around the same time. But this is happening at a different time than Saul, in the days of Saul. And, okay. So then we get to verse 18. Okay. I don't want to talk about that, because to be honest, I don't feel completely clear, but because there's no action, I don't feel like I am going to be doing such a disservice if I don't get each detail right. I don't think I'm doing such a disservice anyway, but if there's no action happening and we're not like, I just feel like I want to just move through it. Okay, so 18. So now we're talking about a new topic. So the Reubenites, the Gadites, the half tribe of Manasseh, had enough people to go to war. This is how many people they had. And so they waged war, and God gave them the victory. Then it says they carried off the livestock. Okay. Okay. So I personally think that this verse 23 to 26, I think this is referring to Numbers 32. This is when Moses gave them land, but they didn't have to go to war. They didn't have to go to war for the land. Moses gave them the territory. But what Moses told them was, And see, it says the people of Reuben and Gad had a large number of livestock. And they saw this land and said, we don't want to cross the promised land with you. We want to have our cattle on this part of the land. And Moses said, well, that's fine, but you're going to have to help get everyone settled. You're going to have to help conquer the people on this new territory before you can settle in there. Okay? So just mentioning this because I think that's what this is referring to. I feel like that's a reasonable guess. But again, I have so many notes here, and I just feel like it's just going to be so much to keep explaining for no action. So thank you for watching. Have a good day.